That vehicle must have been maybe even silhouetted as it came up on the mound, and I think several Molotovs land on this Humvee. Hey, it's the Chief Bonding with Board Games and RPGs. We're going to jump right back into the action. So the vehicle-borne IED, improvised explosive device, has just worked to stunning effect. Nobody shot at it coming in. They were under orders for fire discipline. The vehicle makes its turn, boom, punches right through the front gate, gets up over the curb, and puts itself right in on that 105 and detonates. That's the signal. The mushroom cloud of flame and gas goes up. 5 guys are either wounded or killed right there on that northern gate perimeter, and the attack is commenced. We're going to see, I think, I will just randomly determine back with that 8-sided die which one will go first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 makes sense. The north unit, which is actually approaching right where the mines are. By the way, the signal works both ways. All the Humvees are up on their humps, so we will deal with the moving out of this unit first. Now, the fireball is going to cause quite a lot of vision back in at the base. So we've still got a recon roll, which could fail, and I want to see these nationalist militia troops have to cross open road and could be completely nailed if people are paying attention. Again, 2 12-sided die, night vision goggles, on alert, knowing an attack's going to happen. Ooh, a 2 and a 10. All right, so that tells me that the north side troops, some distracted as they were, most of them are, again, well-disciplined and ready. And they see these troops starting to flood across. You've got 50, 10 of Bartek's and 40 citizens armed with various different weapons. They can see Molotov cocktails that are lit, and units or people that are rushing up toward that wall. It's about a 6-foot wall, maybe a little bit taller, but it's not just easy to get over. You even have a couple people carrying ladders, old ladders that have been nailed together, put together, just like they're going to breach some wall. So there's no stealth from these guys at all. Now again, we have listening posts, observation, OPs, LPOPs, all along this wall, so there's other troops. Remember, we just got the one Humvee and Krieg's there with 10 guys, but there's positions that they can even probably stand up on the Humvees, and maybe even they can fire over, but you've definitely got the 50 that's coming across. I want to see, we're not in close combat yet, so when we get into close combat, we're going to dial it in and more with the game rules. This is more, they have night vision goggles. He can see these guys running across with a 50. Quite honestly, they're exposed. It's not a great spot. Not saying they're all grouped together, though, either. I want to see, this is Krieg. Are there any hits? Now, Krieg, luckily a 50 has a slower rate of fire. He is on the 50. He's in the spot. I'm curious, the other one to the north, I think, would be attracted to this as well, which is going to hinder it for the attack that they don't know it's about to come right at them from another direction. So 2 different guns are going to end up shooting on these guys. First, let's go with Krieg. I think Krieg gets a -1 on this. He's just not a good shot. He is just not a good shot. So we're going to go with a 1d12 and 1d10. And, ooh, we got a 9. He got a 2 and a 9. So he gets a hit. Now that's not devastating, but what I think we're going to do is, I had a note to myself. It's going to be when there's a hits to these units, it's going to -5 off of them. And I'm going to have that be the citizen units first. So let me do the north unit. and then we'll have a B right below it for the Bartek with 10. But these guys are going to be down to 35 citizens as they rush across. I'm just going to go off of the fact that Bartek's crew, maybe they're a little cagier, maybe they're spread out a little bit better distance. We'll see. The other 50 engaging as well. These guys actually will get 212s. They're not quite as bad a shot as Krieg. 10 and 3. So that is 3 hits. This is perfect. So that's 5, 10, 15 more hits, taking them down to 20. They literally just mowed down. You know what? I'm going to say, let's do this. Let's give them 25. I know I'm kind of spitballing it here, but I think out of that, you've almost dropped half of the troops. I think you would have got 5 of Bartek's as well. So we're talking 5 nationals are still up and running and 25 of the citizens. What I picture is the problem of getting right up onto the wall. That was the rush to get to the wall. The wall offers its own protection, though. You can't depress that 50 down far enough to get targeted on them. I do think I need to do one more roll for the troops that are set up on the OP, the observation post. Small arms fire would kick in. The 50s are rocking it. And I think they're going to get a shot to take out another 5, 10, or 15 here. Let's see what they do. A 3 and a 12. So yeah, there's 2 more. So we've got, we're down to 15 citizens, I'm going to leave it at, and 5 of Bartek's crew. 20 folks that have actually gotten across, sucked up onto the wall. Now, we have right in front of them is that Claymore. Click, click, click. I think they're going to set it off, but the first thing that's going to happen is we've got a bunch of Molotovs coming over the top. I actually think they're a little far away from that Humvee that's on the far right, but they're pretty close to Krieg's. And I think you're going to have some hand grenades, some Molotovs come over the top. I think I'm going to give them, especially tapped up into the wall, the chucking of things coming over the top that'll burn and do damage, or hand grenades, pretty high. I'm going to give them at the Humvee. Remember, though, these are armored Humvees, but they could still catch it on fire. Not to mention there are some troops around. And they're kind of throwing wildly. I'm going to roll and see. Well, first, let me just do the yes or no. And I'm going to go that it's you're getting fired on, but I'm going to go a somewhat likely that they get some kind of Molotov or hand grenade in the area of Krieg's Humvee. 69, that would be a no, just barely. It was a 65 or less would have been a hit. Cool. I think the other one would be we've got an observation post or guys on the wall. They would be exposed to small arms fire coming back at them, or possibly them getting shot at as well. 65, again, somewhat likely, and 57. So yes, I want to give them the same options here. These guys are a little bit exposed up on the wall. They can't be as trained as well as these 50s. Let's go with 2. Do we do an 8 and a 10? I think we do 2 8s. Being fired on by 50s, not good. And a bunch of other Army troops. So we've got 2 8s. They could still get some hits. This would be on some troops. Again, this is kind of, 2 hits, a 6 and a 7. All right. And the way these are going to go is that 1 hit is 1 hit. So we've lost 5 off of them when that 105, when the car bomb went off. And I'm going to track, they're now at 5, 6. So now they're -7. I'm just going to keep a running tally. And obviously they only have 12 over there. And I will track anything with Krieg's and the Marauders that are right around here, but will be separate. Well, there's no doubt they're taking fire. They're right there. They're right on top of that Claymore. When else are you going to get a chance? The Claymores are kind of like pasted right up on the corner, and just a swath comes out. 212s. Claymores are devastating, especially that close and from a slightly elevated position. Oh, yeah, we've got a 10 and a 7. So that's 5, 10, 15. I think we're going to do, we'll just say they're down to 2 of Bartek's militia leaders. And we'll take out, we're down to 4 troops. There are a couple of Barteks up top. Well, let's find out. Maybe all of Bartek's were wiped out. I don't know. So it's either going to be, I don't like this 2-2 split. Or all of Bartek's troops on the north side killed 50-50. 93. No, they are not. So we'll leave it as this, 2-2. You've got something there. I would assume they're probably up against a wall or scurrying along the edges. But this area north and Bartek's is down to just 4 after that attack. So no breach there and pretty much in disarray. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me a 6-sided die. And we got a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got the far west area. Again, they're coming through these buildings toward that southwest corner of the base. If they drifted north, they'd be moving towards the mines or the Claymore mine there. But the way these vehicles or these homes are set up or buildings are set up there, I think they would use those as cover to move up. That does put them right into that 50 that's there, but you only got 150 that can really get a shot on them because of the position of the other one. There's too many trees coming through. This is a dangerous breach point down here. So the 50's rolling 212s, and again, we're going to have OPs and LPs listening posts up and running. But first, the 50, and let me get, this is going to be West and Bartek's here. So I can show it, and we've got 40, and we've got 10. Again, there's probably a better way to show this, but I want to keep it abstracted and moving at this point in time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Wow, a 3 and a 2. The 50, I think, should it have been a recon first? Yes. Yes, I think I should be, that's probably actually the recon roll. That is. I forgot we were doing a recon roll to see if they even see them coming. With all these buildings and their position, they haven't seen them yet. So the first they're going to get is Molotovs and grenades coming over the top. There is an OP though. There's guys up on the wall. Same roll as if they're moving closer. Let's see if we get anything here that's just success. It is. There's 1 success. We have a 9 and a 3. You can't push these recon rolls. Am I doing that consistently? I want to make sure I'm not cheating them out. I think the OPs along with the 50 would get, hold on, the OPs do not have the night vision goggles. Could they see them up close? I think not. We're gonna nix that roll. I was getting in a hurry and I forgot they don't have any night vision goggles. So the first they're gonna get is when some hand grenades and Molotovs come over the top. So they have not been seen. The difference is these are kind of coming in blind as well, but we're using 2 8-sided die to see what damage they do. And we don't have, LeFew is further to the north. Again, he could move down and communicate. He'll go where the action is, but let's see, the other vehicles can't really assist. If they totally lose the perimeter, they could fall back to the headquarters. We're seeing if these grenades do anything to the Humvee. An 8 or a 7, yes. So the question is, I think it's probably, I think it's a Molotov. I think a Molotov comes over. Well, let's roll. I think it's because there's going to be some hand grenades mixed in here. But let's go. Is it a Molotov? And I think it's very, very likely chaos factor of 5. And it is a 5, which is an extreme yes. Wow. So you've got that vehicle must have been maybe even silhouetted as it came up on the mound. And I think several Molotovs land on this Humvee. Now, the Humvee's armored, so it's defensive against small arms fire, but it has at least 2 Molotovs hit it and catch it on fire. Does this, I think an extreme yes is that it's even burned or killed the gunner that's up in that cupola. Yeah, I mean, it's an extreme yes. So on this western border with 4th, they've just lost their 50 gunner is killed. And he had the night vision, one of the night visions as well. So you've got a problem over there. Wow, that is an advantage towards those guys already. That might be the area right there. So they've got a fire burning on that vehicle. We'll come back and see, well, no, they've got the throne. We'll come back and see if they can breach. I think they've got a real good shot of breaching. Let's just check now while we're with them. They've got the thing lit. It's on fire. I think this will be, again, for the fate chart. I think at this point it's nearly a sure thing that their ladders go up and they're coming over the top. At this point, I'm going to give them one thing, though. With the fire burning, I think that gives some illumination and they can be fired on by the OPs. That seems fair to me and consistent. Ooh, a 10 and a 9. That's 3 hits. As soon as that Humvee and that 50 gunner screaming, and man, and the Humvee's lit, the LPOP just opens up. They can see some more light now, and they just get, I think, 15 of these down to 25 of the Nisno citizens are just kind of mowed down, maybe bringing in some of their ladders and whatnot. I still think it's still near a sure thing that they get these ladders up, though, and possibly starting to breach. We've got 67. Yes, they are getting over the wall. That is a successful breach. Now, what I want to work is there's a chance to repel them right here as they're coming over the wall. You've got your OPLP. I think we're going to have to circle back to that and go into actual combat. So breach has occurred. I'm going to list that. There'll be an actual close combat where we'll go through the rules. We'll figure out who's there. I'm going to have to come back to that. This combat may drag out over a couple episodes as I'm seeing how this will go. But I don't want to drop into that just yet. I want to see how these other 2 breaches go. And at that point in time, I will fall back into this. They have 25 and 10 Bartek with them. That's still a significant force, and they're breaching it. They're getting those troops over. So they're going to have a strong point, and that might be where they'll fire their first flare. But before we do that, let's go and see who's next. We've got 50-50. Let's see. We'll do odd. Will be east and even. We've got odd is east. So this east, we're going to track here, east and Bartek. And again, we've got 10 and 40. Now this is up at that upper right-hand corner as well. They've got an advantage. The 50 this is all simultaneous. The 50 is rocking and rolling. That's right in front of them at the devastated unit that was coming across the street. By the way, that mine was used. Let me get that out of there. So that unit will not, the 50 will not be firing on it. Now, you do have the other one that's a little bit south of it. He's got night vision, and I think he would be drawn toward it. So I think that red Humvee there would have a shot at spotting them. We've got to do a recon. So do they see them? Yes, we've got a 7 and a 4. They're seen. So an OP small arms is going to fire, and this 50 from this red Humvee. So first the 50 from the Humvee, a 2 and an 8. They take out 5 of them, knocking them down to 30. No Bartex on that one. Now, what about the OPLP, observation post, listening post? Woo! 12 and a 7. That is 3 more. They're on high alert. The explosions happened. The gunfire is going on to the north of them. I think that might have even drawn their attention to the north, and then they see them coming across, because that's 15 more down. We've got 5 Bartex are out and dropping it down to just 20 on the citizens that are coming across. We're down to 25 as they come up, and again, their Molotovs come up over the top. They've seen this 50 that's firing to the north at their friends. They've got an advantage on that. Matter of fact, I'm going to jump them from an 8. They're going to still have one 8-sided die, but we're going to bump them up to a 10-sided on the other one. I think they got an advantage on that 50 being totally distracted by the other ones coming across. Makes sense? And, oh, they get a 4 and a 5. So that is a bunch of Molotovs and hand grenades come over the top on that. Do not set that Humvee on fire. I'm curious. We're going to do the exact same roll on the LPOP, and they got an 8 and a 5. They do get 1 hit on this unit over here. Ooh, Pacheco's a little further south with the kids. But we do have a -1 on second platoon as well. Interesting. Okay. We're going to come down on the breach to the south. Now you got a real interesting area down here. You've got the church, which is further to the east, and they're not in that church area. This is like the auto businesses coming through here, that they're able to snake through the businesses, and there's this little tiny side road that is covered by a Humvee, and I believe there is still a fence line that's connecting those trees back, and this Humvee is basically I think just guarding the road. I don't think they're up on a mound here. I think they've got a clear shot across this open field area to the north of the building. So that Humvee is tucked right in there. There's a tree there, and they're pretty darn close to, I think it's going to be simultaneous. So I want to do this simultaneously, but boy, is that hazardous to just be popping out and chucking stuff at a Humvee with a 50. First, they will be fired upon. Well, first is the recon, I guess. Do they see them? I got to remember to do that. There is a 9 and a 4, so yes, they see them. This is such a weird area to defend. There are some troops stationed around these woods and covering it off, but it's the south portion is a very difficult area to defend. I want to know the 50 sees them, so we're going to do that, but I think the troops on foot are a lot. There's some what looks to be some fence areas, and then some it's wood, and I can't fully tell by just looking at the satellite photo, but I think it's going to be harder to spot rather than just being up on a wall. So I'm going to give them one 8-sided die and one 12. Do they see them? Oh yeah, 10 and an 8, tons. So there's going to be 2 shots fired, and we'll go ahead and go with 2 12-sided die. And the Molotovs are going to be coming at that Humvee. But who can remember? Well, a 4 and a 7, so only one hit. That's 5 off, meaning 40 and 10. It's just now 35 on the citizens. And the OPLP is firing fully as well. A 5 and a 3. They don't get any hits on there at all. So now the question, and I'm just going to go with 2 8s. They're throwing Molotovs at point blank range into a 50. Bold, but dumb. Let's see, do they get anything? They actually get 1 hit, an 8 and a 1. So we've got a Molotov hitting the Humvee. Now, a little bit different deal. Their nose is pointed. They're firing like this, so if it hits, the idea that it would arc into where the gunner is, pretty hard. Possible, but I think it's probably very unlikely. Man, that's a 25. I think it's actually going to be no way. Not getting fired at. So it's possible. If there's a 15 or lower, 82, no. It still hits the vehicle, but it doesn't arc in and land right on the gunner. That seemed odd, especially but it hits the vehicle. I think it hits it right on the hood or right in the front area, and it catches it on fire, doing some damage to the Humvee. So we'll see. I mean, maybe the tire melts and it can't drive or something, but right now it's just a gun truck sitting there. All right. I want one more. Well, let's ask. Is there another suicide vehicle? A vehicle-borne IED? I don't know. 50-50. Does it happen? Gas factor's 5. 68. No. So right now, there isn't. I'm curious for one more thing. I would like a random event to close us out here. I have no idea what this will be. I don't know. Could be good, bad, or different. So we're going to have 58. 58 is, betray. What? Betray. What would that mean? And 11. Betray emotions. Not nearly as bad. It could have been worse. Betray emotions. Betray emotions. How would you betray your emotions? I think it would be panic or fear. So is this going to be panic or fear on our side or theirs? Let's just do a 50-50 and call it, so make it a yes question. Is there panic on the base compound side? 50-50, 27. So that's a yes. All right. So there's some kind of panic on the base compound side. Well, where? Who? Who would panic? I don't know. Let me do another event to see if it's on us. So 16, inquire, and 60 even. Inquire, misfortune. So you're asking, okay. All right, so I think Bartek is on, or not Bartek, Major McGiffin's on the radio, wanting to know what's going on. He's trying to get updates. But he's got to betray his emotions. He's yelling for sit reps, situational reports, and you can tell his panic level is up a little higher than it should be. So let's do this. Let's move the chaos factor from 5 to 6. Move chaos. I think it's worth a double jump, actually. I think we're already at 6, maybe, yeah, we're going up to 7. The car bomb, the breaching, the car bomb in particular, I think would have brought us up at least 1. And now we've got the commander showing a little bit of panic on the air. Not good for the troops. Chaos factor up to 7. That means things should get a little bit loosey-goosey on the yeses. All right, I'm going to pause right there.